Martin, let's go to the NFL, though, in the meantime, in between time, and discuss these new rules. Now, the one that everybody's been talking about is the new kickoff rule. Mm-hmm. So we know a few years ago they changed the kickoff rule because they felt like, it was just ripe for injuries. Guys are running as fast as they can for 30 yards and they're colliding into each other, and it just makes for all manner of crazy hits and hard hits and stuff, concussions and things like that. So they changed it, and, this year kickers were kicking the ball into the end zone almost every time. The return rate of the kickoffs was just 22%. 22% of the kickoffs were returned. That's it. The rest of them went into the end zone for touchbacks. So now they have the new rule where, Rob G, correct me if I'm wrong, but the receiving team will start at the 35-yard line, meaning their guys will line up there. The kicking team will line up at the 40, and then when the ball is kicked off, the players cannot move until the ball hits the ground or it is caught by the return man. I love the idea. They did this in the XFL last year. I think it's a terrific rule. I think the kickoff is one of the most exciting plays in football. Now, obviously not just your random kickoff, but the ones where they're returned deep or for touchdowns. That a kick return for a TD is about as exciting as it gets in football. So I am glad that they are bringing it back. And I also think this does successfully limit the possibility of injury. Of course, in football, you can get injured on any play, but this certainly limits it because guys aren't, running full speed for very long. So the collisions won't be as damaging as they were before. So I think it's a terrific rule. What say you?
I can't stand it. I hate it, and I hate what they're doing to this game. It's ridiculous in my opinion. Because you know what's more exciting than a kickoff return for a touchdown? A successfully recovered onside kick. That's what's more.
Stop that. Really?
Yes, really.
Are you serious?
Yes, really.
Let's take a quick poll. Rob G, what's more exciting? An onside kick that's recovered by, the kicking team, or a 97-yard touchdown return on a kickoff?
Now, before you answer, Rob G, just consider the instances in which onside kicks are recurring and the randomness of this kick return thing.
You're trying to sway me. I already had my answer before you asked the question. I like the onside kick more than the kick return. Because it's so infrequent. Like, that's what makes it more exciting.
How frequent are kick returns? I mean, like touchdowns.
I lived during the Devin Hester era, so
yeah, but I saw it a lot.
I
mean, still, how many did he have?
A lot.
And he was great. He was the best ever. But still, it's not like it's commonplace. So I'm shocked. I mean, y'all talk about the onside kick like it's something phenomenal.
Chris,
can we stop it?
Chris, no, we can't stop it because here's the deal. How do you come back in a football game now? How do you do it? How do you manage to come back?
You mean in most cases, I get there's been the surprise here or there. We all think of Sean Payton in the Super Bowl.
He started this season with a surprise onside kick too. It didn't work.
Okay.
He still did.
They don't work anymore because of the new rules, right? They don't work. But my point is, that's number one. They don't work. You never recover an onside kick anymore. But secondly, 95% of the time or more, I know it's an onside kick. You're down 10 with 3 minutes left. Yeah, it's an onside kick. You line up. Your kicker it's clear. It's an onside kick. So save me the nonsense about, there was always the surprise element of the onside kick. There was no surprise.
Yes, there was still, Chris. Regardless, I
It's not
disagree with you
1991, Martin Weiss.
wholeheartedly. And the reason why I don't like these rules is because I didn't like the old rules once they basically eliminated the ability to recover an onside kick. And that should have been, in my opinion, where they are addressing the kickoff situation, is trying to generally make that a more feasible scenario. Because at this point in time, the only way
you can do the onside kicks.
you gotta signal that you're going to do. What is this, Little League?
Everybody
what is this, Little League?
knows
Hey guys,
anyway.
I'm gonna throw a fastball here. Make sure little Timmy can hit it. No, this is the pros.
Everybody knows anyway.
You gotta
Martin.
be prepared, and you gotta be able to stop it.
I have to let you know when my tackle's an eligible receiver. Should they get rid of that too?
Well, I mean, you saw the Lions and the Cowboys. Actually, I believe they should get rid of letting you know that the tackle's an eligible receiver.
You can't do that.
Yes, you can, because if you just pay attention to who's lined up where, if you pay attention to who's lined up where, the formation rules are the same in every game.
That would be an easy touchdown. That'd be an easy touchdown.
If you're dumb enough to not realize that this guy's covered up on the line of scrimmage,
you'd be amazed at how many guys would be dumb enough. But
well, you should know who's covered up and who's not. And the referees should as well. Like, I'm with you. I don't think that they should have the tackle eligible. You should just be able to tell who the 5 eligible receivers are on the play based off the formation lineup. Just like if you're watching film, you should be able to tell who they are. But Saints Super Bowl onside kick, that was awesome. No,
that was nice. That was fine. And I still take a kick return every single day of the week over an onside return.
When your team is down 10, with 4 minutes left in the game, and you have 2 timeouts, congratulations. You might as well flip it over to the other game or start watching Netflix, because the game's over. You're not, even if you score a touchdown, the game is over. There's no recourse. You have no recourse to get the ball back, and that was
yes, you do. You got the same recourse you have now, an onside kick with very little chance of getting it, but an onside kick. Tell me the game where your scenario, what? You just say down 10 with 2 minutes left?
Yeah.
Tell me the last time you saw a game when a team was in that scenario or something thereabouts, and everybody in the world didn't know an onside kick was coming.
Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons 2 years ago when the Cowboys on the Falcons. I'm not remembering who. I can't remember who came back. I'm pretty sure it was Dallas, though. They kicked that watermelon onside kick because it's the only way you could kick an onside kick. You got to do some funny fugazi foolishness
Atlanta
to try to make it happen.
had no idea was coming?
I don't think so. They weren't lined up to receive it. But regardless of the point is, Brandon Bostic knew an onside kick was coming when they need against the Seattle versus Green Bay, and he know what he did? He tried to catch the ball with his elbows, and that's part of the reason why Aaron Rodgers didn't have the success that he could have had in the postseason so far. So just because you know
it could happen again. That's my point.
No, it can't anymore, Chris. It doesn't happen anymore.
You can still have onside kicks.
Because once they changed the rules back then, when they changed the rules just a few years ago, I'm like, there's this article I'm looking at right here from December 22nd, 2023. So last season, not exactly the end of the year, but close enough, right? Or right around Christmas. So maybe, 3 or 4 more games to be played? The Saints attempted an onside kick on a Thursday night against the Rams. They were down 30-22. The onside kick wasn't recovered. At that point in time, the NFL teams were 1-31 when trying an onside kick. It's nearly impossible to receive it unless the other team makes a mistake. If you go out, there shouldn't be any play in football, in my opinion, that you cannot execute and still be able to get it done. You are depending on defense to make a mistake. If you successful,
that's pretty much every onside kick, even under the old rules. They got to pretty much make a mistake. They got to bobble the ball, miss the ball, something like that.
No,
I mean, that's just the case.
But if you under the old rules, if you kicked the ball right and you got the good bounce and you had all your guys run into there was still an avenue in which they could be recovered because they were recovered.
It was easier to recover it, but it still never was a high percentage.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a coin flip. It doesn't have to be a coin flip. I think it should happen anywhere from.
Try to look up what was the percentage. What was the best percentage for a year of onside kicks?
I think it should be anywhere from 15 to 20%, right? Anywhere from that range where you are.
It's hard for me to believe now I might be wrong. I'm gonna put that out there, But it's hard for me to believe there ever was a season where 1 in 5 onside kicks was recovered.
Again, it's not happening every game. It's not happening. It's only happening in certain scenarios. But the fact of the matter is, I
might be wrong.
They talk about building a more exciting game. Now at this point,
think this is more exciting.
If you're
kickoff
down,
return.
But if you're down to like what's exciting to, I mean, it depends on what it is, because like you could have a kickoff. Kavontae Turpin could return a kick against the Giants. Congratulations, Cowboys now win 47-7, right? But like in the moment when
they win a close game, it could be a kickoff return that wins the game.
But all right. So if you score a touchdown,
you can throw out that scenario, of course. But I wouldn't be mad if they brought back the old onside kick rules under this new situation where you still have to let them know, look, it's an onside kick coming, and you line up accordingly.
I'd feel better about that. I would feel better about that.
I wouldn't have an issue with that. But I'm just saying, if I have to forego the slightly better chance of getting an onside kick recovered, that, because I have to tell you, like I said, I think this year, I bet 90% of the time teams knew when an onside kick was coming. So I don't know if it's that big of a difference, but I'm definitely willing to give that up to see a kick return.
No, it's lame.
Or have a chance for kick return.
To me, it's absolutely lame. And the idea that now under these new rules, you have to wave everybody down and say, hey, we're going to kick an onside kick here. Imagine if Jason Tatum had to say, hey, everybody, I'm shooting a 3 on this possession. Or Jose Altuve said, hey, I'm about to lay down a bunt, everybody. I'm trying to advance the runners.
Actually, when a player bunts, everybody knows it. You see it. You see him line up right as the ball's being thrown, and you know he's bunting. So come on, it happens. I mean, there are certain situations in professional sports when everyone knows it's coming. If you're down 3, guess what? With late in the game, I know you're taking a 3. I still have to stop you.
Sure, but there's some level of strategy, because you know what? You could just go to the rim and try to get fouled.
Some level of
That's what
strategy
Kawhi did last night.
Kicks.
Kawhi did that last night. Went to the rim, got fouled, old school 3-point play. What happens now? Like, it's just
fortunate that he got fouled, but they were only down 2.
But the point of the matter is, you would have thought. I'm sure in the timeout.
Stuttering, y'all.
In the timeout, there's like, look, guard the 3-point line. Guard the 3-point line. I was about to call it a huddle. They don't have huddles in basketball. But in the timeout, they said guard the 3-point line. And you know what Kawhi did? Blew right past him. And part of the reason why is because everybody thought he was going to shoot a 3 because they were down 2 to go for the win. So it involves. It's just removing some of the strategy.
There's still going to be strategy.